My name is Aaron Rao and I'm French. I'm a musician. I've been a musician since I was born, I think. My parents did say. I'm a professional cellist, so that is really my livelihood. My cello is where I earn my living. I started to play music when I was very young. I don't quite remember when or how it all started, but I'm sure it was that Spanish guitar we had in the corner of the living room. The first cello that I owned, my parents bought me when I was 12. I also played the piano, which I have taught myself for a number of years. I never really was formally trained on the piano, so I can't call myself a pianist. I had a great first teacher. He was a man in his, well in his 60s, called Georges Capdevielle. He took me under his wing because I was struggling to make any impact as a violin student with a former colleague of his. I grew up in the south of France. I was born in London. My parents are French, my mother, and Indian, my father. And so I grew up in the south of France, a very provincial place, which allowed me to develop completely unharmed as a musician, because there were very few around me. And when I was 17, I did my leaving cert and my baccalaureate, as it is called. And subsequently moved to London, so that was quite a big move for me, and I then ended up having to make a number of adjustments. The language was a serious one, and I spent a good few years in London at the Guildhall School, where I was a graduate in '91, and straight after that I came to Ireland. So the move to Ireland was in the summer, straight after my end-of-year recital, which was a big deal for a musician, obviously, because it crowns your achievements as a student. And the previous year I had been to a violinist's end-of-year recital, Gillian Williams, and she was just a stunning person and a wonderful musician, and we ended up together.
I'll be in the hen tú slaga derther. Agus ar aiglinn go tapig dí cúpla ceol, Aaron Rao agus Gillian Williams.
My last year in college was spent enormously developing that relationship and not so much working on my end-of-year recital, but she was luckily also a student, did a postgrad at the Guildhall School, and so we bonded extremely well, and obviously by the time I had finished my studies at Guildhall, the option to stay on for more studies was open to me, but I preferred to come home with Gillian to what became my home.
My name is Gillian Williams, and I live in Clonsilla, Castlefield Park, and I happen to have been born in this area as well, up the road, probably 2 kilometres. And I was educated roughly in this area until I was about 17, the usual age, and then I pursued my musical studies abroad in London in the famous Guildhall School of Music and Drama. Of course, I have my husband Aaron Rao, who I met in Guildhall as a music student, and we came back to Ireland, and we have 2 children. I'd always said I would never want to date or marry a classical musician, because you know there can be an awful lot of, I suppose this can be quite competitive. I think the one thing that attracted me about Aaron and made me know from very early on that this would definitely work, and it was against all my beliefs prior to that, was the fact that Aaron is a very, I should say, broad kind of musician. He loves music. I think he loves all sorts of music, for sure. I do too. And he loved listening to me play for the fact that he loved the piece I might be practicing. It wasn't that he wanted to criticise how I was playing it, or I can play that better. Within that, I think Aaron's interest in many aspects of music, his is an ongoing journey. He's playing piano now. We were meant to meet, I always believed that. And we enjoy each other's sort of approach, I think. It's not to say we don't have some incredible arguments. And that's it.
So 27 years of living in Ireland almost, they can divide roughly into 3 stages. So the first stage was just essentially building a reputation for myself, which was important, and I did that by taking on various activities, but mostly orchestral at the time. It was the concert orchestra who gave me the first opportunity to audition to do some dep work. But even before then, I had been spotted by the lady who was leading the cellos in what has now become the National Symphony of Ireland. In those days, it was just the NSO. And she spotted me busking because, of course, you need a revenue somewhere. And I was busking Grafton Street, as you would in those days. But you didn't need a permit, so that was fine for me. And she spotted me and she told me, well, come to the orchestra. And the next day I was in the NSO and I hadn't even auditioned for that. So obviously I did the regular thing and auditioned for that as well, and then auditioned for the chamber orchestra, a third outfit. So in fact I did the complete round of all the orchestras in Ireland, and about 5 or 6 years ago I decided to really focus more on the teaching, which I had done in parallel to all of these activities. And then I became more known as a teacher, I suppose, than as an orchestra player, but I was still doing a lot of freelance as a player. Oh, try again. I need a bit of organism.
It's okay.